بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد رسول رب العالمين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا متقبلا يا أرحم الراحمين. We finished by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessings Tafseer of Surah Al-Fatiha, and as we mentioned, that was the greatest surah in the Quran, and we mentioned some of the reasons why it's the greatest surah. It has the main objectives of the Quran. And now we will move to the greatest ayah in the Quran. What is the greatest ayah? I already told you, right? You already know Ayatul Kursi. You already know, every Muslim knows the importance of Ayatul Kursi. Some Muslims might not know that it is the greatest ayah, and this came in a very clear hadith from our beloved sallallahu alaihi wasallam, narrated by Imam Muslim or collected by Imam Muslim. He said, or he narrated from Sayyidina Ubay bin Ka'b radiyallahu anhu, Sayyid al-Qurra. Sayyidina Ubay bin Ka'b, his title is the Master of the Qurra radiyallahu anhu ardah. Sayyidina Ubay is one of the greatest Qurra. You can know something about his life radiyallahu anhu on the Lives of the Qurra series that is going on in Raleigh Masjid. I think I talked about him in 4 or 3 talks. Inshallah, you can watch them on YouTube. This is a great Sahabi. He's saying that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam asked him once, أي آية في كتاب الله أعظم? Do you know which ayah in the Quran is the greatest? Which ayah in the Quran is the greatest? Sayyidina Ubay radiyallahu anhu, he knew, because of his knowledge radiyallahu anhu, his understanding, he knew it. But he did not say, he did not answer right away. And this is one of the great etiquettes of the seekers of knowledge. He said, Allah wa rasuluhu a'lam. Allah and His Messenger know best. Allah and His Messenger know best. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah wa rasuluhu a'lam. And this word doesn't mean I don't know, by the way. Yeah. If you want to tell someone, if you don't want to answer someone, you say Allah wa rasuluhu a'lam. If you don't want to tell them that you know, you can say Allah wa rasuluhu a'lam. Allah and His Messenger know best. So, and some people say, no, you cannot say Allah wa rasuluhu a'lam. You cannot say Allah and His Messenger know best. You should only say Allah know best. No, this is what Sayyidina Ubay is saying. This is what Sayyidina Ubay is saying. Allah wa rasuluhu a'lam. Anyway, here of course it's something Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is asking him about. Okay? But when you say it about anything, means Allah and His Messenger know best about things in general. You don't mean a specific thing, right? Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he does not know all of the unseen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught him so many things, but we don't believe that he knows each and every single thing. Of course not. It's only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who knows every single thing. So that is basic. That is understood from the belief of every Muslim. But when sometimes you say it about a question or something, it means that Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam know best about these issues, about the religious issues, about the religious questions. And this is why, especially the scholars, when they give their fatwa, at the end they say, Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam know best. It means about those religious fatwas, those religious questions. Sayyidina Ubay radiallahu anhu was asked again by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he said, Allah wa rasuluhu a'lam. That's his adab and his character sallallahu radiallahu anhu. Then when he found that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wanted him to answer, so why he did not answer right away? This is of the adab, that you don't show yourself that you know everything. And sometimes some students, they even say, before even the sheikh asks, before the teacher even asks them, they say, or the sheikh sometimes is telling a story once he mentions the beginning of the story, then to say, yeah, we know. And that's very impolite. This is very impolite, but we should teach our children and teach ourselves the etiquette of seeking knowledge. When you say this as if you're telling the sheikh, خلاص, yalla, we know it. Don't say it, don't continue, we know the story. This is number one, disrespectful. Number two, it's a sign of ignorance. Why? Who told you this story is the same story that you know? If you heard the beginning of the story, doesn't mean the end of the story is the same. Number one. Number two, when you said this, and if the sheikh responded to you and stopped, you might have deprived yourself from many benefits that the sheikh could have mentioned about this story. Many people, they mention one story, but they give different interpretations, they take different lessons. Some people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them different capabilities from other people. They can derive some lessons from a story that no one could derive, right? So the etiquette of knowledge is that you should listen to the end and pretend that you don't know. This is the true seeker of knowledge. You pretend that you don't know. That is how our sheikhs taught us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them. And this is what we can learn from Sayyidina Ubay radiallahu anhu. But when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam showed Sayyidina Ubay that he wants him to give his guess or to say his answer, then he responded to him sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he gave him the answer and he said Ayatul Kursi. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, لِيَهْنِكَ الْعِلْمُ أَبَا الْمُنذِرِ. His title was Abu al-Munzir, father of al-Munzir. لِيَهْنِكَ الْعِلْمُ أَبَا الْمُنذِرِ means may Allah make knowledge always easy for you and attainable for you, and may Allah make you enjoy and benefit and be happy with the knowledge that Allah has given you. All of these means are the possible means of لِيَهْنِكَ الْعِلْمُ يَا أَبَا الْمُنذِرِ. This hadith is narrated by Imam Muslim. Imam Ahmad, in another authentic narration, we have an addition to this hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ says, وَالَّذِي نَفْسِي بِيَدِهِ إِنَّ لَهَا لِسَانًا وَشَفَتَيْنِ تُقَدِّسُ الْمَلِكَ عِنْدَ سَاقِ الْعَرْشِ. He's saying, ﷺ, by the one in whose hand my soul is, means by the one who controls my soul, surely it has a tongue and two lips. Who? Surely it has a tongue and two lips. Who? Means Ayatul Kursi. It is glorifying the king, means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is glorifying Al-Malik and praising Al-Malik where? At the saq of the arsh. At the base or the trunk or the pillar of the arsh. We know the arsh is a great creature that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created as a great sign of His greatness and majesty. And this arsh, which is a huge creature that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, it has like pillars that holds it. Okay? So he's saying, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that this ayah, subhanallah, it's glorifying Allah at the saq of the arsh. Subhanallah. So this means it's a great ayah, it's a special ayah that we have to learn about and that we have to know. The scholars like Imam al-Nawawi radiallahu anhu, Shaykh al-Islam, in his commentary on Sahih Muslim, he said, this is the greatest ayah because it contains the foundations of the names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not all of the names and attributes, no. What does it contain? The foundations of the names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Means the main attributes, the major attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are included in Ayatul Kursi. And those are 7 attributes. Ahl Sunnah, they made or derived 7 main attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they are الإلهية والوحدانية والحياة والعلم والملك والقدرة والإرادة. So Imam al-Nawawi radiallahu anhu, he's saying in this ayah there are 7 major attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are the origin of all of the attributes and names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they are the ilahiyya, means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the God, is the worshipped one subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can say the lordship if you like. Al-ilahiyya wal-wahdaniyya, the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His self, in His actions, in His attributes. And al-hayat, the life, al-ilm, the knowledge, al-mulk, the kingdom or sovereignty, not kingdom, sovereignty, al-mulk, and al-qudra, the power, the unlimited power of course, and the will, al-irada. These are the foundations of the attributes and names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these are a little bit different from the 7 attributes that the Ahl Sunnah, the Ash'ari school of Ahl Sunnah mentions. There's a little difference in some of them, but in this ayah these are the 7 main attributes that Imam Nawawi is saying they are the foundation of all of the names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So as you see, if an ayah talks about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there are 5 explicitly mentioned names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Ayatul Kursi. Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum la ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. So we have Allah, Al-Hayy, Al-Qayyum, Al-Ali, Al-Azim. These 5 names are mentioned explicitly in this blessed ayah. This is why it's the greatest ayah. It's telling you about the greatest, about the creator subhanahu wa ta'ala, about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have to know it. And there are so many merits of this blessed ayah. So many merits. One of these merits that whoever reads Ayatul Kursi, whoever recites Ayatul Kursi after every obligatory salah, nothing will prevent him from entering Jannah except for death. Nothing will prevent him from entering Jannah except for death. Rasulullah ﷺ said in this hadith, narrated by Imam al-Nasa'i and others, من قرأ آية الكرسي دبر كل صلاة مكتوبة لم يمنعه من دخول الجنة إلا الموت. Whoever recites Ayatul Kursi after every obligatory salah, nothing prevents him from entering Jannah except for death. And this is, alhamdulillah, a habit that we used to do always in Syria, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessings, because the imams after salah, they say aloud, they say Allah after the istighfar, and after they say Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. So they remind the people, all of them, they say it silently. Then the imam says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Qul huwa Allahu ahad. He says Qul huwa Allahu ahad. Also because it's recommended to read the mu'awwidat. So people need these reminders. People need these reminders. Here you find people, once salah is over, they just do tasbih. They just do tasbih. That's good. That's good, and that is sunnah. But you will hardly find someone who's reading Ayatul Kursi after every salah. Or mu'awwidat. Mu'awwidat, it's sunnah to read it after every obligatory salah also. 1 time, and after Fajr and Maghrib 3 times each. Do you know this? Do you know this? That sunnah to read these ayat or these surah after every obligatory salah. Most people, they don't know. They just do tasbih and they run. You can say them while you're walking, no problem, yani. But may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yani, make us aware of these important merits and adhkar. There are many other merits of Surah of Ayatul Kursi. Why it is named Ayatul Kursi? Because it mentions the word kursiyuhu during the ayah, and we will mention this later on, inshallah. We will stop here because of the time, and inshallah we will start the tafsir of this blessed ayah in the next class if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills. It starts with the word Allah, and the word Allah is the pronoun, is the proper noun, proper noun. Ismul alam is the major noun, is the noun that tells you about the Lord, the God subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once you say Allah, khalas, it means Allah, right? If you say Al-Azim, if you say the greatest, if you say, it might indicate some people. But when you say Allah, it is for Allah only, right? And this is why Allah starts with it, Allahu. Now He's introducing Himself subhanahu wa ta'ala. He wants to tell us about His attributes. What name He uses, it is the proper noun that is used, Allah. And what does Allah mean? Does it have a meaning, or it is non-derived noun, proper noun? This is what we will mention inshallah next time, and we'll mention some other things. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who listen to the speech and follow its best. Sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullahu khairan.